Deciding to pitch hit for putting Sam in to pinch hit in that spot after Rom had done pretty well. What went into that?
Well, the first thing is we felt like we really needed another run. That's a good team. That's the type of team that I told our guys that's who you got to beat as a 4 seed. Today's college game in a regional. They have a good team, balanced lineup. But I felt like we really needed another run, so I wanted to pitch run most importantly. And Perry's a really good base runner. He's got speed. And I felt like once we had an opportunity, Sam was a really good matchup. I thought he's had great at-bats. His batting average is extremely misleading. The quad chart, he's been up on it the last 3 to 4 weeks. And he's an older guy and experienced hitter. So it paid off, obviously, and that was a huge swing of the bat for us.
And then just McDuffie's first start.
Yep.
Starting like that, what did you see from him?
I wasn't surprised. I think he's going to be we have 3 unbelievable weekend starters. I'd like for him to be a starter. But the way we've been able to use him is the reason we were able to start him. If you look at his work, rarely has he been taxed. He threw Friday. It was 3 days rest and only threw 60 pitches. But building up to that Friday, he had a full 6 days, and then before that he had a full 4 days. So I almost let him throw more. But in my mind, I had 75 tops, and I thought he was outstanding. I think you saw a glimpse of what he's capable of doing, and he reminds me a lot of Trent Thornton his freshman year. I think he can do both.
And then, again with the pitching, Olin, he loads the bases and then gets out of that inning.
Yeah.
A lot of it, him and also that outfield defense.
Yeah, no doubt. Olin's been really good for us. He's still got to improve his off speed. If he can get his off speed better, when I say better, more swing and miss and through the zone, his fastball plays up. He's got that good extension. He's hard to square up. Hard to hit the ball in the gap or over the wall with his fastball. So his strikeouts will go up when his off speed. It's gotten better, but he's competing. He's filling up the strike zone. His velocity's getting back up. He did a good job because Lynch has been so good for us. And I thought he made some pretty good pitches and with good stuff, and they just did a good job of moving the ball right there. And Olin came in right after we scored, and they loaded up, and the game's never over. And for us to get out of that, I felt pretty dang good going to the last inning.
What goes into improving that off speed? Is it you just have to be more comfortable with those pitches? Is it reps? Is it a mechanical thing?
No, it's just, really working on throwing it through the zone. A lot of pitchers want to shape their breaking balls or their sliders when they try to spin the ball early. Same thing with the changeup. And to have a really good off-speed pitch, you have to attack with it like you're trying to throw it 92, 93 miles an hour. Trust your hand placement. And he's just a little early on it, but he threw a couple really good curveballs. So he does do a good job of being aggressive with his curveball. But he's a legitimate 4-pitch guy. And I think he's scratching the surface. I think he's got another tick up with everything. I think his velocity has another tick in there, too. He's a really young kid.
What have you seen from Tyson lately? He seems to have found his power stroke here in the last week or so.
Tyson, it's his first year playing at this level. And I think everybody expects, like, this guy's going to hit 400 with 30 home runs because he had a good fall and a good preseason. But he's had to adjust. But that's what makes Tyson so good is the last game doesn't affect him. The last at-bat doesn't affect him. Matter of fact, he helped us win that game on Sunday, and he had a bad day offensively, but he had an unbelievable day defensively. But he doesn't walk in the day, I had a bad day offensively. He doesn't carry it over. He listens. He's coachable. He works hard with Coach Weirs, and that was really good to see him catch that left-handed pitcher because, him and Gavin have struggled some against left-handed pitchers. They see the ball so well, they just get a little bit big early. And I thought his timing was really good today, and that was a big spark to him. He crushed that ball.
How did you see these guys really? It seemed like they capitalized on almost everything.
Yeah.
Those mistake pitches, Jordan Mason had a lot of errors. How does that serve them well now and then going forward?
Yeah, that's what good teams do. That's why we practice so much defense and fundamentals is if you give good teams extra outs, don't defend a bunt, don't make a play, it's hard to prevent a big inning. And our guys are good about that. And we've just gotten more distribution throughout the lineup. I was really excited for Ron Kellis. I thought he looked really good. His timing was good. He just juiced that ball in the gap. He should have been on third base, but still, like he looked like Ron Kellis. The Ron Kellis that I know that's a threat as soon as he steps in the box to hit a double or a home run. So that was really good to see for us.
Reece Holbrook.
Yeah. You know what? Like, Reece has just grown up so much. He is a role guy. but he's always ready. He's worked extremely hard. His attitude's been unbelievable. And it's clear that he wants our team to have success, and whatever that means he does, he's going to be ready for it. His BP's been really good. He's an option for us off the bench. He's an option to pitch run, which is why now, when we do bring him into pitch run, I'm much more comfortable leaving him in for an at-bat. Gets a bunt down at Pitt, has a good at-bat today. He looked really good. His tempo looked good. So really, I'm just proud of him, and I'm proud of his maturity of, like, hey, you know what, I'm just going to be ready. And I'm not going to be concerned about whether or not I'm in the lineup, but I'll be ready when my name's called.
How have you kind of seen those intangibles from him and his play on the field just kind of increase as you've had him?
Yeah, he's just matured. He's like every kid, though. You want to be in the lineup every single day, but you get to a point where it's like, okay, if I'm not, how am I going to handle it? How can I make everybody beside me better? And that's a huge reason we're having the season we're having. We lost a ton of guys last year. If you look at what we lost offensively, a lot of new faces, a lot of having to figure out how to get to know each other, how to come together. And that doesn't happen without older guys helping guys understand the culture, understand the standards. And Reece has done that. And Reece works. He doesn't take days off at practice, and you get rewarded for that.
Does that carry over to other guys that may be in a similar position as he is?
Yeah, I mean, because he's older, and if you got this young guy and he's whining and complaining, he can be like, look, dude, this is my 4th year in college. I don't want to hear you whining and complaining. I want to be in the lineup too, but that's not what we do here. And that's what you have to have from your older guys, and we've had guys that are like that. And you don't have that locker room success. Even though we demand it, we demand good attitude, you still have to eventually buy into it when you're an older player. And once you bought into it, it helps everybody.
Who are you starting tomorrow?
Forger Boaz. Yep. Excited to see him pitch. He'll be ready.
Cool.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Hopefully more than that.
Tyson, can you just talk about kind of how this outfield defense has evolved?
Yeah, I mean, I was just telling him in the dugout, it's a lot easier to play when you're trusting the guys around you. And for me, it's kept Vandy and Stoke, and I know that they got my back and I got their back, so giving it 100% every time.
And then, I mean, today especially, and that Friday game at Pitt and that Sunday game at Pitt, you guys are just, it seems like you're able to hit really well in momentum, and the runners in scoring position is getting better. What do you think is really going into that?
Honestly, I don't know. Just being able to capitalize is huge. It's only a select amount of pitches in a game that determine the outcome, and it's been going in our favor. Hopefully it keeps going that way.
Has there been a difference for you at the plate recently, kind of finding the power stroke here in the last week or so?
Just being a little shorter, a little quieter, trying to hit the ball 400 feet instead of 700.
What's the adjustment for that, like 700 to 400?
Just slowing down. Weir says it all the time, but I guess you don't really realize it until you actually realize it, that the ball moves faster when you're moving faster. So maybe you shouldn't move so fast, and then the ball won't be so fast.
Is 700 possible?
No, but I'm going to try.
What
Are
is
there
the
big adjustments you've had to make coming up to this level?
Yeah, just same, like being shorter, being more selective. A lot of stuff is better. Everybody throws harder. You don't get less pitches that you can actually hit. So being selective, being on time, things like that.
What is the farthest home run you have hit?
I really don't know. Confirmed, probably 460, but non-confirmed, maybe further. I like to think.
Forbes talked about your ability to just kind of forget about the day before.
Yeah.
How have you kind of honed that ability?
Growing up, I just kind of realized that life can be so much worse than I have it. I mean, I have literally nothing to complain about. So I'm getting to play a game. I live a great life. I have a great family, great girlfriend. Striking out 4 times on a Sunday night in Pittsburgh when we're staying in the nicest hotel in the city is not something I should cry about.
Did you want them to run on you tonight?
Oh, yeah, every time. I'm praying they hit me the ball and that they go, because I love to throw. It's my favorite thing.
A little aggressiveness coming around second.
Yeah, I got to second and I was checking up, and then I saw the center fielder just kind of being lazy, and I was like, well, if you're going to be lazy, I'm just going to go to third. And yeah, I should have scored, but Coach Forbes told me to stop.
How have you seen this team kind of have the ability, George Mason a lot of errors tonight, to just capitalize both on errors and then mistake pitches?
Yeah, like I said earlier, there's a certain amount of pitches in the game that determine the outcome, and just knowing you got to get it done when you got to get it done, I guess.
Reece obviously stepped up a couple games in a row. Forbes, you heard Forbes earlier, got total faith in your game. You've been here for a long time. Just sort of talk about the process of getting to here and then taking advantage of the opportunities.
Yeah, obviously I grew up here. My dad played and coached here, so it was always my dream school and where I wanted to be. And then going along with what Coach Forbes said, just maturing as the years go on. If I'm not in the lineup, like not having a bad attitude, I know freshman and maybe sophomore year I didn't handle it like I should have. But yeah, just trying to stay ready. I've always worked hard and just trying to be ready whenever my time's called and not thinking if I don't get a hit this at bat, I won't be in tomorrow. Just taking advantage of the time when it comes.
What do you think has been kind of the biggest step in that kind of that mental process here?
Mainly just trying to control what I can control. Like, I can't control if I hit it right at someone, but I can control if I am having a bad attitude before the game or before the time's called, and then I'm not ready when my time's called. So yeah, just knowing that I work hard and that the work ethic will eliminate like the fear that what if this doesn't happen or if I don't get a hit here. Just trying to stay ready and being ready whenever that time is called.
When you obviously staying ready is a thing everybody talks about, but just describe that. Probably not going to get in the game early, 1 through 5th inning or so, but when it starts getting late in the game, what's going on in your head there?
A lot of it's situational. Like mainly I've been a pinch runner off the bench, and most of the time it's been for a DH. So just knowing like the situations, if it's a close game and that DH gets on, I'm probably going to be running. So if it's like a 1-run game, tie game, I'm probably going to be the guy to go in there and make a good read and try to score the game-winning run. And then, just trying to stay loose in the dugout. And then if I do score a run, knowing that it could come back around and I get a chance to hit, and just trying to mentally prepare for that. Just positive self-talk and knowing, like, trusting all the work I've put in.
How big of a weapon is the base running skill that this team has?
Yeah, it's huge. We got a lot of fast guys. Like y'all saw today, with if a team makes an error, we can kind of jump on it with speed around the bases. Stealing bases is obviously a big thing if we're not hitting homers or driving balls in the gap. Just trying to take an extra 90 whenever we can, and got guys that can get bunts down, get the extra 90, dirt ball reads, all that stuff.
When it's coming back around, you know you're going to get that bat. Most of these guys get 4 and 5 a game. You miss that opportunity, whatever. I've got another one. For you, it's usually one and done. How's that maturity helped you sort of produce in that moment? Yeah,
I know freshman year I did not approach it the right way and thought I have to get a hit here. That way I can play the next day, or if I don't get a hit here, I might not play for a while. And now it's just more of, all right, I've got this opportunity, and I just need to be locked in for it and not chase a hit and swing at balls out of the zone or try to do something, hit a ball over the net. Just try to put a good swing on a ball and trust the BP, trust the tee work, all the early stuff, and just take advantage by not letting it overwhelm me instead of just being present in the moment.
Coach talks all the time about hitters' routines before they go up to the plate. How do you keep that kind of consistent even when you don't exactly know when those bats are going to come?
Mainly mine is just in the on-deck circle and walking up to the plate and then just right before the at-bat starts. But, I've kind of always had that routine since high school or even before then. And, that's kind of the only one I can control. I can't control if guys are getting on base ahead of me and, what the situation's going to be. Just, like I said, trying to be ready for a pitch in the middle of the zone and putting a good swing on it.
We won't keep you much longer, but I did want to ask you about the leadership aspect of it that I asked Forbes about. I mean, a lot of these young guys want to play, and you've been in that spot. You mentioned it. Just what's it like, sort of mentoring younger guys that are in the shoes you've been in?
Just exactly like Coach Forbes says, everyone wants to play, and I'm an older guy, but I'm the same way too. Like, I wish I'm in the lineup some days, and then if I'm not, it's just still trying to keep that same attitude of being ready. And I've been on both sides of it where I didn't handle it great freshman year, so I can just try to be a mentor to the freshmen if maybe everyone in their heads thinks they should be playing for a certain reason. But, yeah, just telling them to be ready, keep working. But the freshmen this year have been great. We haven't had any issues, and they all want the same thing we do, is just winning and taking advantage of the day we have.
What did you think about Tyson talking about, I can't be mad at striking out when I get to do the stuff I love to do?
Yeah, for sure. I've had to work on that part of it too, just dealing with failure, and a lot of it has been through perspective, just how I grew up with leukemia and knowing that a lot of people do have it a lot worse off, and that I'm grateful to be playing the game today. And if I have a bad at bat, it's not the end of the world. Like, there are a lot worse situations that could be going on.
Appreciate
Thank you all.
Thanks, Reece.
Yep.